So how did we get to this position? I went for a walk this morning and something caught my eye. It's been catching my eye for the last few days, but it really caught my eye and was looking at the diesel and petrol prices that we're currently paying. And I know it's got nothing to do with it at the moment, um, but the rise of reform and MAGA and BREXIT. Yes, that little honeypot of happiness. But let's have a frank chat about the impact of what nationalism and right-wing nationalism has brought us. And let's start in the UK. What since 2016 has gotten better since Brexit? Now, if you have an honest discussion with yourself, you would realize nothing really has gotten better. It has gotten remarkably worse. We have high food inflation. As an example, in 2016, you can go to the supermarket and fill up a trolley for £40, £50, and you can fill up a trolley properly. Nowadays, that same trolley is 170, £180. That's more than 100% increase in cost to you, but your salary has not seen that same cost, that same increase. Gas and electricity prices, remarkable increases. Just cost of living in general has seen remarkable increases. And we were promised what? A golden era of financial unicorns and sunlit uplands, and we're all going to be driving Maseratis and living the good life. But who sold us this fallacy? I seem to recall that there was a really hard push from the right wing, Nigel Farage, at that point still in UKIP, and also a push from the USA into the politics of saying the UK needs to leave the EU. And all of these price increases, all of this shown is that the rich has gotten richer. Since 2020, we've seen a remarkable increase in billionaires, but we've seen a remarkable decrease in people's ability to afford just daily life. And that has had a direct impact on people's feelings towards governments, successive governments. But the anger is being aimed at the wrong people. The anger is being aimed at migrants and immigrants. But that's not where the problem lies. The problem lies with nationalism and this fake patriotic feeling of saying, oh, well, we're better because we're X, Y, and Z. Not really. All you're doing is stoking hatred and you're stoking fear. And that's what reform does. That's what Nigel Farage does when he says, let's ask this question honestly. I'm just asking questions. It's a very cheap and easy way to get around the inciting violence claims that was done during the riots of 2025. I'm just asking questions. That's the line. And that's also the lie. Then we look at the impact now of what MAGA has on the rest of the world. We've had this conversation about how religion is being used in right-wing politics, be it from abortion rights to women's rights to LGBTQ. Now you can also see that just nationalism in itself is causing a huge amount of problems for people in general. You see people unable in the USA to afford medical care. There's more bankruptcies due to medical debt than there is to anything else in the US. And why is that? Why should people go bankrupt to pay for medical, for their health? In the UK, the whole conversation from Nigel before was to go private, like in the US. Reform is now big on the whole, oh no, we never said that, but he's on record saying we should go with the private system like the US. because according to him, the NHS is unsustainable. The UK spends less money on social welfare and care than any other EU country, and we still have worse services. It used to be that the NHS was the star child for everybody, the shining beacon that everybody could look at and say, this is brilliant. But what broke it? Was it David Cameron and the Tories in 2008-9 when they came into power? Or was it Labour? I seem to recall 14 years of mismanagement and cutting of services has gotten us to this point. I also seem to recall cuts in policing. And now this whole, we're in a lawless state. Well, who cut the police? Who cut police stations? Who cut the judicial system? The Tories. Those same Tories who've now jumped on the bandwagon of reform, jumped ship, basically, from one right wing to ultra right wing. Those same Tories who were in power for 14 years are now harping on that the system is broken. Nigel Farage was correct when he said, never trust a Tory. What he was lying about was he's a Tory. Because all of them are the same. None of them have your well-being at heart. None of them think about you. Who started the VIP lane? Right-wingers. Who's getting funded by billionaires from across the ocean, from different parts of the world? Right-wingers. Who's trying to battle against electoral reform and electoral payments? Right-wingers. Who owns all the media in the UK? Well, basically all the media. Right-wingers. So now you wonder, is it the left wing that's the problem? Or is it nationalism and hatred and self-preservation for the top 1% to make sure that the rest of us fund their lovely lives? That is a conversation we need to have. I'm all on board for tax the rich. And Brexit gives us that opportunity to tax the hell out of the rich. But that's an opportunity being taken because that's not supposed to be what Brexit was supposed to be, according to the right wing. It's supposed to be taking over the oceans again. That's not going to happen. We're supposed to be a manufacturing powerhouse. That's not going to happen. We're cutting welfare spending. We're cutting international aid to appease right-wing nationalism and right-wing talking points. Why? Because some reform voter living in Rochester thinks it's a great idea. No. Those people are being lied to. If you believe anything reform tells you that your life is going to be better under them, you're believing a lie. Just look at all the councils that they're running. They're running them into the ground. Their flagship Kent County Council is an absolute disaster. Don't believe me? Go look at the news reports. The only council UKIP ran beforehand went bankrupt. So let's have this chat in the future. But until next time, ciao.